Now, I've owned this E-Type for over a decade, and I can say it's been one of the crown jewels of my collection, and a car that I always thought would hold steady in value. It's got an iconic design. It's a proven heritage, a so-called blue chip classic. And then at a recent UK auction, I saw a Series 2 E-Type with the guide price starting at just £22,000. Now that's a number I did not expect to see again, not in this market. And it actually sold for just £19,400. And that made me stop and think, what's actually going on here? What's happening in the classic car market? Why are some iconic models dropping faster than anyone could have predicted? Now, I actually covered this a few months back where I spoke about the future of classic car values and why cars from the 80s and 90s are rising in value due to nostalgic demand from new collectors. And cars from the 50s and 60s, well, they're plateauing and gradually declining. And anything from the 40s and pre-war, well, they'll continue to decline. But here's the thing, this drop has come faster and sharper than I expected. And it's not just the odd classic here and there. It's entire categories of classics and cars that we thought were previously untouchable. So today we're looking at 5 classic cars that are falling hard in value. And why that's not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, if you're a petrolhead like me, it might actually be the best news we've had in years. Number 5, let's start right here, the Jaguar E-Type. Series 1s are still holding their own, but Series 2s and 3s are in free fall. Values are down 20–30% just in the last 18 months. So why the dip? Well, maintenance is really expensive, and full restorations often exceed the value of the car. But more importantly, the next generation just does not have the same nostalgic value to these 1960 British icons. But for me, falling values unlocks opportunities. Hopefully more people can afford these now, and we see more E-Types back on the road, rather than sitting in climate-controlled garages and being portfolio pieces. Number 4, my childhood dream car, Ferrari 308 and 328. I had posters of these cars growing up. I still dream of owning one. But in the last year, we've seen values fall dramatically. Why? Because buyers are skipping ahead to Ferrari F355s and 360s. 308s and 328s are beautiful, but they're not rare, and running costs are sky high. A beautiful 328 just sold at that same auction on the weekend for just £54,000. Now the drop here feels more like a correction, a drop to the car's true value, which was once held up by nostalgia rather than reality. Now, if a 308 continues to drop and one falls below £40,000, don't be surprised if my dream car ends up in this garage. Number 3, here's one that will surprise a lot of people. Air-cooled Porsches. These are no longer considered bulletproof investments like they were before, and prices are falling fast. Now, unless it's a special model like a Turbo or Carrera RS, prices are soft. I think enthusiasts are moving much more towards the Porsche 996, Porsche 997, because they're cheaper and they're far easier to live with. But again, I think this is great news because it brings the reality of owning a classic air-cooled 911 back into reach of true enthusiasts rather than sitting with collectors and speculators. Number 2 is the BMW E31 8 Series. V12 V8 Grand Tourer, digital dash, 1990s presence. Now this was one of the best looking BMWs ever made, the original 8 Series, and for a while prices were climbing fast, but now they are cooling off, particularly the V8s and the automatics. Now the 850 CSI and manual still hold a premium, but for the rest the market is starting to think what it's prepared to pay for complexity and nostalgia. Now that said, they are wonderful GT cars when they're properly sorted. And at today's prices, that may just be a bold, beautiful bargain. And number 1, the Aston Martin DB series. DB4, DB5, DB6. True British icons. but their values are sliding fast. Now, unless it's a DB5 with bond connection, values are declining and up to £100,000. I think younger buyers are looking at these cars, can't justify the price tag when it comes to performance and upkeep costs. But if you've always dreamed of owning an Aston Martin DB, a true British icon, now may just be your time. Is the classic car market crashing? Well, I think it's correcting, and it's correcting fast. But more importantly, it's evolving. We're seeing a generational shift in the cars people desire and what they're willing to pay for. Nostalgia is a powerful thing, but nostalgia moves forward. And now that shift is happening faster than any of us predicted. Now, for those of us who love these cars, work on them, and use them, this is good news, because it creates more opportunity for us to buy the cars we've always dreamed of. And if prices of the Ferrari 308 continue to fall, don't be surprised if one just turns up in this garage in the near future. But guys, I want to hear from you. What do you think are the biggest fallers in the classic car market? And if classic cars continue to fall in price, what will be the dream car that you want to add to your collection? Thanks again for watching another episode of RC Classic Garage. This channel is all about the ownership experience of my classic car collection. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and see you all next time.